the whole idea of taking time to work on it, not just in it, that's a big, 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 big idea. Because here comes Sunday, here comes Sunday, here comes Sunday, here comes Sunday. In the rhythm of your organization, this may be hard to answer, because it might be hard for me to answer too. How do you ensure organizationally either staffs, teams, divisions, campuses make time or take time to work on it and not just in it? Are those off-sites? Is that just as needed? Or because, I mean, I know we get into seasons here where it's all of a sudden I realize we're just in it. And when we're not working on it, we're just working in it. We're not doing as well organizationally. We have less margin. We're not hiring for the future. So is there anything that you do systematically to make sure, because that's ultimately on our shoulders?
There's a couple things. One is I learned from you that, like if I'm going to take off 8 weekends a year and I just take off one here, one here, one here, one here, I don't really get a lot of time to work on the organization because I'm just kind of breathing. I've got one over. So what you taught me is it's better to take 2 consecutive ones off or even 3, because then I get to work a little bit ahead and I feel relieved, but then I've got an extra for sermon preparation. But then I've got another week or 2 where I can actually, I get out of the rhythm of always being on the next message, and then I can go work on the church. So that little principle alone has been really, really helpful for me. Then the other thing I've found is that if I don't schedule consistent off-site, for us it has to be off-site, because when you're on-site, there's just too many distractions and people get sucked back into it. And so we schedule consistent off-site
for your management team,
for our management team. And then we also schedule consistent, and this is on-site, where it's just leadership development with each team. So every time all of our student pastors come in, I have a little bit of time with them. Every time all of our worship pastors come in, I have a little time with them. But then there's a lot of time where they're together working on their segment of leadership as well.
And so do you then, as you're modeling that, then do you empower or give your other divisions permission to do the same thing? So your student ministry can do off-site, your children's ministry can do off-site.
And then we make our campus teams. I talked about going to a rotation on the weekends, because doing 8 services is just a lot. Then we also give them, I don't really like this term, but they call it crap days. But it stands for Campus Relaxation and Play Day. And so basically,
is that what you meant by that other word?
That's what I was talking about. There's lying out the butt.
That's different. Okay.
So, but anyway, that's what they call it. But and so since they work a different schedule, we give them, where we put it on the calendar which is, you're not allowed to show up at work today. We want you out having fun and doing something different. And then that's the way we kind of are forcing them to do stuff, because they're so driven. We actually, another little principle that we did is we stopped managing vacation days. The only thing we do is we make sure they take them all, but we don't count them. So there's no one that says you only get 3 weeks. If we feel like we hire such great leaders, they're so driven. If they need 4, we're going to give them 4. If they need 5, we're going to give them 5. But the only thing we measure is making sure they take the minimum, but not manage the top end of the maximum. And the only reason is some of them would not take the minimum, and so we want to make sure they get away enough. But we trust them to where we're not you got an extra day. No, take your extra day. We believe in you. You're working so hard. We want you to have more. And so that's a way to invest in the staff like that.